Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. It is visible, right? My voice is also clear, I think. Yes,
Yes, sir.
fine. So yesterday there was first class. We discussed about what is React JS, and now we are discussing features. What are the features we have? Those features we are going to discuss. First of all, a small brief. Okay, a recap about that last class. So React.js, it is a web technology, and in coding point of view, we are using this React.js. So if you take any website, okay, yeah, first of all, it is a client side script to implement so websites. Yes, what this? The client side script we are using for what? To implement the websites. Now, already I told you, if you take any website, we have two phases. Okay. First one is design phase. This design phase, user interfaces we are creating. So what are the technologies we are using for this? So HTML, CSS, okay, and Bootstrap, like that, these technologies we are using. The design phase. Now in coding phase, so we're implementing the logics, business logics. Yes. Now we have two types of scriptings. This coding. One is client side script. Another one is server side script. Like that. Yes, in coding point of view, two types of scriptings we are using. The first one is client side script. So already I told you what is client side script. So the script which executes in browser. If you implement any logics using either JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, etc. All this comes under client side scripts. So these logics will download into the user computer. Okay. So user means your client. Okay. User using browser like Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, etc. etc. So all these logics will be downloaded into the browser. There it executes. That is the concept we're using here. Okay, means if you implement any logics by using JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript, those comes under client side scripts. Server side script means executes in server. For example, if you take PHP, ASP, JSP, so let's okay. Next one, Node.js. All this comes under server side scripting language. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings here. The first one is client side script, second one is server side script. As a developer, we are working with these client side scripting languages. As these scripts execute where? In browser. Okay. Yes. So that we discussed in last class. Next one. So basic history. So who implemented this React.js? Mr. Jordan Watt. He is one of the employees in Facebook and to work with the chat concept in the Facebook website. To work with the chatting concept in the Facebook website, he implemented this React.js. In which year he implemented this React.js? 2013. Along with the other members of Facebook, he implemented this React.js. Okay. The year 2013. Yes. Yeah. So Jordan Walkie implemented this one. So the main reason behind this implementation is for internal purpose. So to use in the Facebook. Later, they released this technology as open source client side script. From then, outsiders also started working with this using this React.js in their project development. Like that, many websites like Apple, Instagram, and even Microsoft websites. Okay, many websites contains React.js. Microsoft big project is the Teams project. So that is also a React.js project. Okay, yes, like that. So in old days, programmers used to work with JavaScript. These days, they are using React, Angular, these two technologies. Okay, so React is nothing but library of JavaScript. Okay, now this is the basic history we discussed in the last class. Okay, now features of React JS. So, what are the features we have? So, in this concept, we'll go with the comparison JavaScript, React, Angular, and React. Okay, yes, we'll cover these comparisons also. Now, first, if we take these features, what are the features we have? So, first one supports data binding concept. React supports data binding concept. JavaScript is not supporting this data binding concept. What is data binding? The basic information I will give you. For example, in your program, okay, you are creating a variable like serial number is equal to 100 something you created. Yes, yeah. So this is the variable. 1 second. Yes. Serial number is equal to 100 like that you created a variable. So if you know variables, okay, you can understand. Otherwise, no problem. I will discuss how many types of variables we have, what is variable, everything I will cover. Till then, remember one point. So variables we are using to store values. So at the time of calculations, so we are perform the calculations with some values. Yes. Yeah. So we are performing the calculations with some values. In that point of view, we are taking the support of variables. Is it clear? Yes. For example, you want to find out EMI every month installment. Okay. You want to find out. So for that, some values are required. Loan amount, loan tenure. So how many months? 60 months or 72 months, like that. So these values, based on these values, we are performing the calculations. Right? Yes. All these values we are storing where? In variables. So like that, here one variable we created. That variable value you want to display on the text box or any other control. Then you need to execute some code. In that code, read this variable value and call this text box. There, display that value like this 100. Fine, it is displaying. Later, this variable value is modified, updated from 100 to 200. Now, question is, without re-execution of this code, will it update in this text box? No. Again, you need to execute this code, read the updated value, and display in this text box here. Like that, every time, whenever the variable is modified, every time you need to execute this code, and then only those updates will display on the view. view means output control. So at the time of project development, number of variables we are creating. Every variable we want to check, it is a tough task for us. Every variable we want to execute these type of functions, it is big task for us. To avoid that, React is supporting data binding concept. What is the main purpose of this data binding? Yes. So we are creating a link between data and view. Data means variable, view means output control. So then no need to use this logic here. No need to run this logic. Is it clear? So that link can get the updates of this variable and displays on the view. Means as a programmer, no need to worry about these updates, how to display on the view. So need not write any separate functions also. Just create a link between this variable and that output control view. So to create that link expressions, something we are using here. So this link will get the updates and displays on this control. So that is the concept of data binding. Yes, yes. It supports the data binding concept. So we have two types of data bindings, one-way data binding and two-way data binding like that. Yes, yeah. So I will discuss that concept later. What is one-way data binding and what is two-way data binding? So everything we'll discuss. Anyhow, React supports this concept, but not JavaScript. Angular also support this concept. Okay. Yes. Now, is it then like a listener? Yeah, like a listener only. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Next one. Supports many validators. Yes. So in validation point of view, three different validators are available. Simply we can apply these validations on the HTML elements. You need not worry how to write the logics for these validations. So if you take the registration page or login page, etc., we are displaying the controls. Yes, for these controls, we are applying the logics, validations. In JavaScript, manual logics we used to write, but here, so predefined conditions, and based on the conditions, you want to enable the controls like a login button or registration button, and you want to disable if any text box is not proper data. So this type of everything is predefinedly available for us. That is the main advantage. Supports many validators. Okay. Next one supports single page applications. Very, very important concept. Why React Angular popular? Yes, because of data binding and single page application. So this single page application, we are also calling it as routing. So this concept we are also calling as routing. So what is mean of this single page application? What the meaning? So many people they may think entire website contains only one page. Don't think like that. Okay. Yes. So I will show you a small diagram to get the clarity on this. For example, you're developing a website. One second, let me connect with capture. Yes. Okay. Close this. Yes. Now this is isn't that your server, and you're creating one website with the multiple pages. Like this is home page, and this is about us, and this is contact us. Like the multiple pages. Now client X, client means user. Okay. So who is accessing your application? For example, if you open Google, then you are the client of Google, like that. The client X sending a request. Then the home page you are loading it the client system. The initial page is home page. Now in this home page, generally we are displaying the hyperlinks to open about us, contact us, like that. Yes. Now if user click on this about us, one more request, okay, that response is coming here. If user click on the contact us, one more request and that response is coming here. Like that, every time a request is going to the server and the response is coming back to the browser. From single user, multiple requests, but not a single user. Okay. Many users can access the website, okay, in the particular times. Okay. So right now, in this current time, so thousands or lakhs of users are connected with the Google or Gmail or Facebook, like that, right? So from all these users, many requests are going to the server means it decreases the network traffic, network speed, increases the network traffic. So that's why to avoid this React, Angular, these technologies introduced one concept. What that concept? Routing concept. We can also call it as single page application. So what the use of that? Yeah. So we are creating one object in this concept. Using this concept, we are creating one object. So in that object, we are holding all these pages. Actually, components. We are calling them as components, not pages. Later, I will discuss with you what is component and all. Okay. All these components we are holding. When user send the first request, then enter that object sending to the user system. And in this object, we have home, about us, and contact us. So these pages are storing in the client's cache memory location. Yes, yeah. If user click on the about us, now it is loading from here. If user click on the contact us, it is loading from here. Means from next time onwards, the request is not going to the server. Only the first time the request is going to the server, and it is getting the all pages, and those pages are storing the client's cache memory location. When client click on these hyperlinks, so that says, so from second call onwards, so the data is coming from his system only, from his browser cache memory location. So no need to go to the server. So it reduces the hits on the server and increases the performance of application. So this is the basic information about the single page application. Means only one browser we are using. So to display the other pages about us, contact us, home page. Every time we are not reloading the browser here. Means reload means one new instance is creating. So for home page, one instance. If you click on the about us, if the request is going to the server, then one more instance, browser instance is creating. Like that for contact us, one more instance. So that is the procedure by default. But when you are coming to the single page application concept, so what is the browser we open? Same browser remains like that and displays the information on another page, removing the previous page content, erasing the previous page content, and display the information on another page, like about us page. From about to contact us, if you are navigating, if you click on the contact us, it removes the about us content and display the contact us contents in the same instance of browser. It is not create the multiple instances of this browser. That's why single instance. That's why we are calling it as single page application. So this is a basic overview. In detail, I will discuss later. Anyhow, yes. So it supports the single page application concept. So for this concept, we are spending around 1 week to 8 days. Okay. So that time we will discuss how to work with the authentication, authorization, okay, and lazy loading parameters in shopping cart application, how to pass the parameters, like that. Everything we'll discuss in that point. Yes. Yeah. Initially, the pages are available in server. So when user sends the request, so that time, yeah, these pages are going to the browser. Front end React backend can be anything. Backend in the sense server side should be anything we can use here. Not only Java, .NET we can use, Node.js we can use. Okay, PHP can use, any technology can use. Yes, Christopher. Yeah, yeah. So now the next point. Like that, if you have any doubts, you can drop me the messages. Okay. Yeah. I don't get it. What is your doubt exactly? Backend sends data only. Backend sends the data means I don't get what you supposed to say. Yeah, front end like React will display pages. Yeah, pages means that page is coming from where? From server. In server, it may be Java page. Okay, anyone. Okay, yeah, which server means Tomcat. Okay, IAS, Apache, like that. These are all the servers. We are deploying the project in the servers. Okay, yes. So once you deploy the project in the server, then user can access this project by using IP address, or if you link that IP address with any domain name, then user can access using that domain name like www.thatname.com, like that. Okay. Yes. So that is API service. Okay. Actually, API service returns the JSON object. Okay. So that is API service. But when you actually, the thing is, once you create, what is the front end technology you're using in your project? Okay. Are you using HTML? Hmm? So React is for coding point of, for designing, I'm asking. For designing, we are using HTML. Yes, that HTML is sending to the browser. For home page, some HTML content. For about us, some HTML content. For contact us, some HTML content. Like that, we are creating that HTML. So that HTML content is sending to the browser with the single page application. So here JSON means either JSON or XML. So these are API services. API services throws the data in the form of JSON and XML. So we are using JSON these days because XML format is high. So that huge amount of data it occupies. So that's why we are using JSON. That is also we'll discuss with the Ajax. Yesterday I told you already. So by using Ajax, we are calling the backend API services. That backend API service may be anything. So Java API service or .NET or any other technology can use here. Server side script should be anything. Front end is either, yeah. So Angular, React, in old days, JavaScript. Yes, yeah. So that is the thing. Yeah, how browser is creating the page based on the HTML content which is coming from server. Okay. Yes. Fine. Next one, this is single page application. Next one is supports JSX format. It supports JSX format. Yeah, this JSX support is not there even in Angular also. Okay. What is JSX? JSX stands for JavaScript XML. The main purpose is we can combine the HTML with JavaScript. Okay, HTML code and JavaScript code both we can combine by using JSX. Generally, what happens if I write the HTML code inside the JavaScript, it gives the error message. If I write the HTML inside the JavaScript, it gives the error message. But using JSX, we can combine these two. Okay, so one program I will show you, then you will get clear. Okay, idea on this. So just now I discussed the program in the previous batch. Okay, 7 o'clock batch now. Yeah. So I explained this concept in the 7 o'clock batch. It displays the cart items here. Okay. Yeah. Like this. So we are displaying the items of this cart. Now, if you observe this one, so this is one function, right? Inside the function, I have written this div tag. Div tag is HTML element. And there again, I have written coding. That is map function, JavaScript function I use it here. Okay. Means I combined HTML, JavaScript here. So that results, that output are getting like this. Okay. So if I remove this one, then it is not displaying anything here. So if I use like that, so I'm not getting any error because of this React package imported here. Okay. React supports JSX format. JSX advantage is we can write HTML code inside the JavaScript. It simplifies our development. Okay. So in old days, we used to write HTML in one file, JavaScript in another file. And from HTML, we used to call the JavaScript function. That is very big concept. But now, so everything we are writing inside this JS file only. So this HTML code, image, okay, like that. Everything we are writing inside this JS file only. Is it clear? Yes. So now just I showed you one example, but it may give some idea, but some confusion also. That's why don't worry about that. So we'll discuss how to use the JSX format, everything. Okay. Yes. So the JSX support is not there in Angular also. Next one supports virtual DOM. Yeah. So this virtual DOM is also not there in Angular. Okay. So JavaScript Angular not supporting virtual DOM. See, in this program, I created one div tag like this that related one object is creating in RAM location. That object we are calling as DOM. Okay. So what is virtual DOM is it is one more layer for the original DOM. So because of this virtual DOM, React application is faster at the time of updating the data. Right now, I'm not explaining anything about this DOM, virtual DOM, and how it is faster and how at the time of updating. So what is the procedure it is following? So reconciliation that concept is following. So those are all things I will discuss later. Okay. Anyhow, it supports virtual DOM. Because of this virtual DOM, the application performance is faster compared with Angular at the time of updating the data. Okay. So now just let me show you in Google. So I will discuss in detail later what is that virtual DOM, everything. So right now, even if I discuss, you can't understand because some basic things you should know, then only you can understand. So here, what is virtual DOM? Yeah, yeah. So it is one memory object. Because of this virtual DOM, the performance of application is faster. Okay, that point I want to show you. Yes, especially at the time of updating. Okay, everything, the performance is faster. Okay. Yes. How it is increasing the performance and what is DOM exactly. So everything I will discuss later. So anyhow, remember this point. It supports virtual DOM. Okay. Next one, React Native we can use to implement mobile applications. Yes. Yes. So not only websites, we can also develop the mobile applications by using React.js. So if you take website, in website for coding we are using React and for designing HTML. Yes. If you take mobile, for coding we are using React, for designing native. So that's all. To design the mobile screens, okay, activities, everything we are using native. So like that React native we are using for what? To develop the web applications. Mobile applications. And these mobile applications are cross mobile apps. Cross apps means what is that? Only one app supports any device like Android phone, iPhone, Microsoft mobile, or any other. For example, if you develop an app using Android technology, it supports only Android mobile, not supporting the iPhone. Yes, like that. If you develop the app by using Xamarin or something like iPhone technologies, so it will not run under Microsoft Mobile and Android. Okay, but here some technologies are there like Phone Gap, React Native, like that. So these are cross means hybrid technologies. Means only one app can support any type of mobile. That's why. So in client's point of view, means client means here the person who is paying money for the project development. Actually, here sometimes client is the person who is accessing the application. That end user also we are calling as client. Next one here, the person who is paying money to the company for the project development, that person also we are calling as client. Okay. Now here, if client recommended the React Native for the app development. So then programmer no need to create multiple apps. Only single app he can create. It runs under any type of mobile. So it is very less investment and helpful in the client's point of view. That's why so these days not only web applications, many mobile apps, okay, they're implemented with this React JS. But this course is completely website development. We don't discuss anything about native concepts here. Okay. So this is completely website development course. Once you get the clarity on this React JS, okay, and web point of view, later you can enhance your skills with this mobile development. But right now it is not required to you. Okay. Yes. Next one, supports Redux. Yeah, React directly supports Redux concept. Redux is for state management concept. Okay, state management. Maybe some students have idea, some students new for this. I think that's why I will discuss what is state management. Okay, and you heard about these cookies, local storage, session storage, all this comes under state management objects. The main advantage of these objects, transferring the data from one page to another page in websites. For example, here a cart page is there. From that cart page to payment page, the selected products information, that price we have to transfer. In that point of view, taking the support of state management objects. Like that, from one page to another page, you want to transfer the data. Then we are using the state management objects like local storage, session storage, cookies, etc. But Redux is more powerful than these objects. Okay, so what we have in that local storage, session storage, same we can do with Redux, but it is providing more features like subscription, okay, and auto updates like that. So those things I will discuss later. So anyhow, Redux support is there in this React. React is providing direct library to work with this Redux. So we will discuss how to work with this Redux and all. Next one here, simple coding. Coding point of it is very, very simple compared with the other technologies. Okay. Yeah. So if you take JavaScript, we need to write number of lines coding for a concept. But that is simplified in this React.js. React is nothing but the library of JavaScript. Library means what is that? Provides some additional features and less coding. That is the main purpose of this. So that's coding is also very, very simple. So these are the basic features what we have in this React compared with the JavaScript. Like that, we have many more other features, but ongoing classes. So that time we will cover those are all. Okay. So now come to this Angular and React. Angular is not supporting JSX and Angular is not supporting virtual DOM. And mobile development point of view, React is very flexible because the native package framework, the native framework, you can develop the fast mobile applications and direct Redux support is there. And compare with Angular, React coding is less. Is it clear? Yes. And next point is React is library and Angular is framework. So framework means okay, it is providing the all features. Okay. So everything is available with framework. But React, if you take it is library, sometimes we are taking the help of third-party packages for some functionalities. Okay. So in this point of view, so Angular no need to depend on the other third-party packages. So everything it is providing. But in React, okay. So sometimes we are depending on the third-party packages for some functionalities. For example, file uploading concept is there. That concept we're taking the support of some third party packages. Okay, like that. So here Ajax you want to work. In that point of view, we are using so Axios, that is third party package, like that. But in Angular, everything is predefined. So that's why in learning point of view, Angular takes much time than React because it has huge functionality. That's why it takes much time than React. So React learning is very simple. Okay. So like that, we have some advantages in React as well as some advantages in Angular. Okay. The main thing is what are the features? Okay. Important features we have. Okay. So in this React, those we are covering here. So because here JSX is very important for us. Virtual DOM is very important, like that. So these are the main features, and Redux direct support is there, like that. If we take single page application, both technologies supporting. So validations, yes, Angular also support these validations. Data binding, yes, Angular also support this data binding. Okay, like that. So now one more difference is there. So if you take React packages we can call by using either JavaScript or TypeScript. Anything we can use here to call the packages of React. We can use either JavaScript or TypeScript. But Angular compulsory TypeScript is required. Is it clear? Yes. So that's why already know JavaScript. You want to upskill your technical knowledge. So then obviously you will prefer this React.js, right? Because Angular, if you want to choose Angular, the learning time is more, and additionally, you need to learn this TypeScript. So, in companies, many JavaScript programmers working from past few years. So, for them, if they want to go for the next skill, So obviously they will choose React.js, right? Because if I know JavaScript, React becomes very easy to me. In case I want to learn Angular, so TypeScript is additional, but then I need to learn. So that's why in companies, most of the teams, React.js teams established. That's why if they are looking for any new resource, definitely that is React resource to add in this with these teams. That is the reason why we got more openings for this React compared with Angular. Okay. But both are playing good role in this industry. Okay. So compare with Angular, we have more job chances for this React. Okay. Yes. So anyhow, these are the main points. So here JavaScript, I will cover this JavaScript here, complete JavaScript. Already I told you in yesterday's class. So the prerequisite is to learn this React.js JavaScript. Okay. I think some people may have idea, but not everyone. That's why that JavaScript complete in-depth concept is required. So I will cover all the JavaScript. After that, well, I will start the React.js. And also I shared some information from this batch onwards. It is complete. So front end, all technologies we are covering here, like front end full stack batch. So we are covering HTML, complete HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, okay. So SAS and media queries, okay. JavaScript, React, along with this project, okay. In project, we are working with the backend API services. Those API services we are creating through Node.js. That's why I'll give you some information about Node.js also. Okay. And if you know Java or .NET, you can replace that Node.js with that Java .NET technologies. Okay. That is our choice. Project also included in this batch. Okay. So that's why code duration is minimum 100 days. Okay. Okay. And yeah, contents of this course means JavaScript and React. If you want to see, okay, I will show you those contents here. Somewhere that file is available. Second, yeah. So I'm showing you JavaScript and React contents here. Okay, about this complete HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, media queries. Okay, SAS, these will be covered and project also. So in JavaScript, we are discussing hosting objects, form objects. Okay, Ajax promises, functions, oops, protocols. I told you stateful, I mean, state management concept. Okay, local storage, session storage, like that. So closures, rest spread, like that. ES6 concepts. Okay, and event bubbling, event trickling, like that. Throttling, debouncing. So the shopping cart applications following this debouncing concept, and Google is following that. Okay, normal Ajax call and that throttling, debouncing, everything we will discuss at the time of API service calls. We are using all these things. Okay, sync event like that, and this is about React. So in React, we have functional components as well as class components, both we are covering, but our main focus is on functional components. So why we are in the functional components? Okay, why we are concentrating on this? We will discuss later. So these are components and data binding. So life cycle hooks, different types of life cycle hooks we have. So like that, all concepts we are discussing, not only concepts, including project, complete project, okay, live project we're discussing here. So it is added in this batch, from this batch actually. Till now, project is separate and course is separate. So from now onwards, we combine these two and so reasonable price, okay. So they are charging for this. Okay. Yes. So total code duration is 100 days minimum. Okay. So maybe it extends to 5 to 10 days more. We can't say. And 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. Sunday's holiday. And first Saturday of batch, we don't have class. From second week onwards, every Saturday, we are having the classes. Okay. Yes. Like that. Yeah, I will write the code in front of you only. I don't open the existing code and I don't explain. So line by line, okay, line by line code, I will write and I will show you. Okay. And we are providing the videos also. Okay. So every day, what are the concepts we discussed here? Those concepts, videos I will upload in Drive. So the Drive access you will get after this demo link. So 3, 4 classes they are providing the demo. After that, link will change. Then you will get the Drive access those who are registered. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Any more doubts from your side? Yes. Yeah. Initial demo classes we are spending around 45 to 50 minutes. After that, 1 hour session and 8 to 9 p.m. is our regular timing. Timings won't change. Okay. Yes. Fine. So if you don't have any doubts, we'll conclude this for today. So tomorrow onwards, we are starting the concepts. Yes. Fine. Then see you in the tomorrow class. You can drop now. Thank you.